creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
So what's up, guys? I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth.
Oh my goodness.
So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone.
This is a marketing genius. Bro wants everyone to go to his Yeezy website.
Man didn't get paid for that show. He looked dead in the camera, knew when he was going to get sued, and said, "Say, Drake, I hear you like them young." Didn't get paid for that. They don't get paid for Super Bowl halftime performances. A lot of people did get the message last night from Kendrick. However, a lot of people did not. 40 Acres and a Mule, this is bigger than the music. Do you know what 40 Acres and a Mule means? If not, you should look it up. He said the revolution will be televised. You picked the right time and the wrong guy. I'd follow that man off a cliff. And then the American flag split in half, as you got Samuel L. Jackson over there acting as Uncle Sam. Maybe the artwork, everything about it. Wake up.
I looked up 40 Acres and a Mule. Those people got lied to. That sucks.
So the more that I rewatch this performance, the more that I realize this is a clear call for a revolution. Not only does he come up and say that this revolution will be televised, you picked the right time but the wrong guy. You have Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, who is the embodiment of America. When he asked, "Do you know how to play the game?" that is America physically asking Kendrick if he knows how to. There are many layers to that statement because he is a black man in America, but it is also a statement to every American in this country who is participating in this flawed ass system that is keeping all of us under. The stage is a video game. We are the game pieces. And while we fight amongst each other, only the elite win. The revolution will not be televised. And a revolution is a lot more than just saying that a revolution is happening. It's people realizing that the game is over, that it's time to turn the TV off, and that it's time to get to work. But a revolution takes everybody getting on board. It takes everyone realizing that this is happening. And so, in a way, this performance was him pretty much signaling what we all know. He just used his platform to call the elephant in the room.
People need to realize music has always been a political.
Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl 2025 performance has been slammed as the worst halftime show ever. Fresh off his Grammy wins, the 37-year-old rapper performed a medley of hits and took a jab at rival Drake with his diss track Not Like Us.
I don't even like you.
The track labels Drake a certified file, and despite Drake suing their label over its controversial lyrics, Kendrick performed it, but omitted the most offensive word. At one point during the charged performance, a man with a Palestinian flag tried to storm the halftime show, but was intercepted by security. The rapper was joined on stage by SZA, and tennis champion Serena Williams, who was once linked to Drake, was pictured dancing during Kendrick's diss track. Fans blasted the show on social media, with one writing, "Worst halftime show ever, not a fan."
What do you think about his performance, folks? Let me know in the comment.
Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform at the Super Bowl. He made a statement. His halftime show wasn't just about entertainment. It was about symbolism, storytelling, and pushing boundaries. The entire performance unfolded across 4 stages that were shaped like a PlayStation controller button. And that wasn't just a design choice. It was Lamar's way of showing his life as a video game, a journey through obstacles, survival, and resistance. While many people appreciated the artistry, others, especially some white viewers, felt confused or even uncomfortable. Some white folks watched and thought that was cool, but others dug deeper, listened to black voices breaking down the symbolism, and realized just how layered the performance was. The American flag imagery, the way the dancers moved, and the subtle nods to Lamar's ongoing themes, it was all intentional. But some white folks weren't just confused, they were angry. Some were upset that there were no white performers, no white dancers, no obvious appeal to white audiences. People who usually claim they don't see color suddenly saw it everywhere. But why did it bother them? Because this performance wasn't centered on them. It wasn't for them, by them, and about them. It didn't ask their permission, seek their approval, or cater to their comfort. And that's unsettling when you're used to being in control. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson as a black Uncle Sam, watching a show that didn't need whiteness at its center, that flipped the usual power dynamic. It puts whiteness in the position of the observed, and for some, that was too much. This is the same discomfort some people felt when a black man walked into the White House. The same outrage that erupts whenever black joy exists outside of white validation. Because black joy, self-sustained, unbothered, and fully free, has always been seen as a challenge to white supremacy. But here's the thing, art doesn't have to center us for us to appreciate it. We don't have to fully understand something for it to be valuable. Curiosity and humility go a long way. And instead of reacting with fear or frustration, we can choose to learn. So today, I'm grateful for the voices that helped me see what I missed. And I'm thankful for the artists, the activists, the storytellers who challenged me to think beyond my own lens. Because last night, Kendrick Lamar didn't just put on a halftime show, but he put up a mirror. And what we saw in it, that's up to us.
There are a lot of pro and contra, not just white folks, to black folks too.
We just witnessed, unfortunately, what happened to Kevin Durant. But Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Serge Ibaka telling the crowd, no, we are not going to cheer when this guy goes down.
Getting this at the Super Bowl is wild.
Lawsuit thing, I thought that was to make sure that that didn't happen.
Wait, you talking about the Drake lawsuit?
Yeah.
To make sure what didn't happen?
That
Like-
song didn't come on.
For the Super Bowl?
See, look, sue Apple, right? Sue Universal,
Right.
and then have your attorneys contact NFL corporate and say, look, we don't want you guys to involve yourself in this nasty lawsuit that's going on, and you guys are the biggest live sport in the bed. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're a part of the damages. Because you
Like a
continue
threat?
to put it on. Yeah, that's the way the lawyer said.
Damn.
It seems like, because they're a little more combative, you want to let your publicist talk for you when you're in situations. Like even the Jake thing, you could tell the lawyer wrote that
Right.
statement instead of the publicist because he was being a little combative.
How does 50 Cent know literally everything?
Serena Williams looked like the biggest bird in history crip walking when her half-sister was killed by a crip, which is a tragedy. But how is your half-sister going to be killed by a crip and then you're crip walking? Second of all, you're crip walking in the diss against Drake, who is your ex, and you're crip walking to Not Like Us with a white husband who is the father of your two biracial child.
Oh my God.
Serena, who exactly is not like us? The way that black people in this country are continually brainwashed by these entertainers is wild to me. I know it seems like I cannot get off of this, but I am just like, I am astounded by what I've seen. Serena Williams, crip walking, half-sister was killed by a crip in a bright blonde wig and bad makeup, crip walking, talking about somebody's not like us when she has a white husband and two biracial children, trying to get back at her ex. Like, what? Serena Williams, love her to death, one of the greatest athletes that ever existed, but her doing all of that stuff during the Super Bowl was the biggest bird move of last night. Serena is a bird. You're a 43-year-old mother of two. Crazy.
He got a point. Serena Williams is confused. She lives in the black world when it's convenient for her to do so.
marijuana is bad for the brain. I published a study on 1,000 marijuana users. Every area of their brain is lower in activity. And just today, a study came out in the Journal of the American Medical Association on 1,027 marijuana users. It decreased activity in the hippocampus that affected their memory centers. If you're a teenager and you use marijuana, in your 20s, you have a higher incidence of anxiety, depression, and suicide. This is not innocuous. And we've been advertised this load of crap, which is, oh, it's just good medicine.
Okay, how does Snoop Dogg remembers all his lyrics? I don't smoke, by the way.
So y'all, they found the missing plane that was in Alaska. The initial reports say when they went to the site, they found 3 people unalive, and they couldn't account for the other 7 people. But they're saying,
wow,
most likely they're unalive too. So the plane was traveling from Unalakleet to Nome, where it went down. They said because of harsh conditions. They said the plane didn't send no signal of distress or nothing. So they saying it happened quick. This is now the 3rd major aviation accident in over a week, y'all. So they know it was harsh conditions, but they say usually planes can go through that. So they're trying to investigate what really went wrong. And when they find out what really went wrong, I'm gonna let y'all know. So make sure you hit that follow button. And the thing I wanna know is, what happened to the other bodies? Because what I read, they have not accounted for the other 7, but they presume they're unalive too. All in all, it's a sad situation all around. So I send my condolences to all the families that's affected by this loss.
Sending prayers and condolences to the families.
Last weekend, I had a meeting in a ski resort in the Alps, which is probably the most expensive town in the world. I was not there to ski, for the record. But the whole town is Ukrainian. You know, all the visitors are Ukrainian. And they're rolling into Hermes and dropping $1 million in an afternoon. All through Europe, you see this. The richest people are the Ukrainians. That money is ours. It belongs to me and you and every other American taxpayer.
Wow,
That's where
really?
it's going. Second fact, not guess, fact is the Ukrainian military is selling a huge percentage, up to half of the arms that we send them. Half. And I'm not guessing about this. I know that for a fact, not speculation. And a lot of us winding up with the drug cartels on our border. This is a crime, what's happening. Our intel agencies are fully aware of this. You tell me they're not profiting from this. Of course, you think the CIA is not profiting from this? Yes, they are. Can't prove that, but I believe that. What they don't know this. I know this, but they don't know this. They know this. No one is saying it. Like, no American seems aware of this. We're sending these arms to Ukraine, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's being stolen and sold to our actual enemies. Like, what the?
Thanks to Biden. And a lot of Ukrainian and Russian people here in Bali too.
There is no mattresses inside the cells.
So the only thing they own is the uniform. In the past, the gang members would be kept separate, and they would be able to plan crimes in their cells. But in this prison, the new system's in operation where gangs such as MS-13 and Barrett 18 are being all put together in the same cell, so they can no longer plan crimes. I'm feeling hundreds of eyes boring into the back of me, just dead black eyes. Lord knows what they're thinking, and what they think all day, and Lord knows what they've done to deserve this, but we can only assume
Deserve
they've
it?
done some of the worst things that one human being can do to another, and that's why they're here. Certainly that's what the director of the prison has told us. He's told us how these people have raped, mutilated, cut bodies into pieces and left them strewn across the countryside, and turned El Salvador into a living hell. They're now locked away forever, and the country that I've seen is a peaceful, safe, tranquil place.
Well, this is prison. It's not meant to be enjoyable.
Motivation is the key. These specially designed exercises wake kids up to make them take responsibility for their lives.
Wow. Not a phone inside, just people living in the moment.
Activate the connection.
Prices increased 100% in one day. EU has an energy crisis already. Wow, this is awesome. Wow. Look at the AI video. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. I'm talking about how he creates this video. I'm learning AI video, folks, for my next YouTube channel. It's going to be about world history. Hopefully, I can start next month. Ooh. This is AI again.
Let's watch this video.
When God is about to bless you, you'll go through 3 stages. The first stage, you hit rock bottom. In life, there are moments of despair when it feels like things can't get any worse. But in those moments, God is near, waiting for you to turn to Him. The second stage, self-reflection. The key to getting out of this situation is understanding why you ended up there. God won't just pull you out because He's God and you asked, "Father, help me." No, He will pull you out when you realize, why am I here? What do I need to learn? What should I change? The third stage, tears and true repentance. This is the time of heartfelt repentance that will eventually bring you true joy. As it says in the book of Psalms, those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Later, you'll look back on this time, not with pain, but with gratitude, because God led you through this season, helped you heal, grow, and come closer to Him. We have content that helps you become 1% better each day. If you're willing, just take a look. Have a good life, my friend. Hope to see you again.
God is great. Bacteria versus holy water. That'd be interesting.
So what you're telling me is essentially a girl's going to the farmer's market and getting fresh farm eggs that are organic, pasture-raised eggs, and she's bringing them home thinking she's doing so many amazing things for her family, and she's cracking that egg on something that is literally has poison in it.
That's right. And it takes 2.5 minutes for Teflon to start breaking down once a flame is on. And so pretty much every time you're cooking, it's leaching into your food, it's leaching into your air. You guys may know this, but Teflon also permeates through a lot of our waterways. So a lot of your drinking water has PFAS in it. And actually when that water goes into, let's say, like a Dutch oven to boil, not only can your cookware leach, but the water can also leach Teflon into your pasta or whatever you're cooking.
I'm trying to tell my family about it, but they don't care.
30,000.
About 15,000.
$9 grand. I heard my boss was coming. I had to come put on for Trump. You know what I'm saying? $3,900.
How much did you pay for your ticket?
$8,000. $6,500 a ticket,
Damn.
which I think was decent.
Once in a lifetime deal. We sitting down here for 5 stacks. How'd you finesse a ticket?
Incredibly grateful for my father, Dr. Darren Kramer, over here.
We rich.
Bro.
Once in a lifetime deal. Super Bowl is held every year. Jesus is around the corner, folks. Get right with God.
This video of this anglerfish is going viral for 2 reasons. One of the main reasons for it is the expression he has on his face, which people think looks sort of goofy, but it's actually really sad. So these are deep sea creatures. They live around 600 to 3,500 feet below the sea surface, and there's only one real reason why they would come to the top. And for those of you that are not familiar with an anglerfish, you probably remember one from the movie Finding Nemo, where Dory and Marlin found a little light in the darkness, followed it until they found this creature. That's actually another reason why they live so deep in the sea, is because they want it to be dark so they could use their light to attract fish to eat them. Now this poor little guy is probably sick or dying, and that's why he's uncontrollably floating to the ocean surface. So as this guy comes to the top of the surface, he's probably experiencing a buoyancy issue. As the anglerfish gets closer to the surface and the pressure changes, gas leaks within their body, making it harder for them to control their buoyancy and also go back down deep into the ocean. So even if he's just sick and not dying, him coming to the ocean surface will result in him passing either or. Because he's not able to function outside of his deep sea environment, hopefully he or she lived a good life up until this point.
If all the deep sea creatures start to pop up, we in trouble, folks.
Millions of Americans scrambling from store to store on an egg hunt as prices soar.
30 eggs for $30?
On average, a dozen large eggs now surging to more than $7 according to the USDA. And that's if you can even find them. Many shoppers discovering empty shelves.
They don't even have eggs.
And with a surge of stockpiling, now some national retailers are even restricting how many eggs people can buy. Trader Joe's says it's limiting customers to 1 dozen per day across the nation. And some shoppers at Costco reporting their local stores are restricting egg purchases too. The shortage a result of the bird flu sweeping through poultry farms across the United States. In Pennsylvania, state police are looking to crack the case of the theft of 100,000 eggs from a distribution truck worth $40,000. Others, like this Seattle cafe, now on high alert after this surveillance video shows robbers breaking in and stealing more than 500 of the breakfast staple.
I was taken aback by how much eggs are costing. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel, or is it going to get worse before it gets better?
And the empty shelves, too. Like, you go and sometimes there's just like a few cartons of eggs and then a big space. You're just not used to that. Look, this is a long-term problem because you've got hundreds of millions of birds that have had to be killed or have been infected, and so they're not producing eggs. And it'll take until the bird flu is over, and then you can rebuild all those flocks. Then it'll get back to normal. So USDA is saying probably by spring of next year, you'll start to see prices going back down to like $2.50 a dozen, something more normal. That will happen eventually.
Funny, Canada and Mexico don't have these problems.
Past is past, it never come again. The present, it's the best gift that we have in our life. The present, because you don't know that what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So live the present.
The GOAT mindset. Live in the present. This would make a good movie.
The Simpsons predict that in 2025, Earth will experience a year like no other. The story begins with Lisa watching a news broadcast about strange global event. Earthquakes striking places that have never seen them before. By February, the skies above Springfield glow faintly green at night, and people assume it's just the northern lights. Marge soon notices that her garden vegetables are growing twice as large as usual. Around the world, crops behave oddly. Cities face unpredictable weather, and ocean tides rise without warning. In March, scientists explain that Earth's magnetic field is shifting, a phenomenon that shouldn't happen for another 1,000 years. Professor Frank warns that if the shift continues, chaos will follow and technology could collapse. As the months go on, things only get stranger. In December, bright auroras fill the skies, even during the day. Suddenly, all electronics shut down worldwide, forcing people to communicate face-to-face again. The strange events leave everyone wondering what the future holds. Follow and comment your thoughts. Comment part 2 for more.
These guys only predict things in the USA.
Guy at the Super Bowl who got caught cheating on his wife on the Jumbotron is the most hated man in America today. His wife got him those Super Bowl tickets for his birthday, and she was planning on going with him until he was like, hey, my best friend from college really wants to go. Can I have the other ticket too? And the wife was like, okay, that's your birthday present. That seems cool. But it wasn't cool when the Eagles scored a touchdown and they show the people in the crowd, and then he's making out with not his best friend from college, but his female coworker from the Philadelphia office. So the wife's fuming, right? She just realized that she paid $14,000 for her husband to go on a date with his girlfriend. So what'd she do? She popped open his work laptop and started sending emails from his work email. And they were very inappropriate. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, boss, that email wasn't for you. It was supposed to be for Jessica, the girl he was at the game with. And so the husband got fired this morning because it turns out that even if it's an accident, you can't email your boss in corporate America and tell him you want to do those types of things to him. The wife said she's already got a divorce lawyer that's ready to ruin his life.
Revenge is bittersweet.
You are a child of God. That's what I want to say to you. That you are special and that you are sacred and you deserve to be cherished and treasured in every aspect of your life. Do you know that about yourself, that you are special?
I guess I don't think of myself as special, just another girl. I'm not religious or anything like that, so I don't really read into it.
One day you will read into it, Lily. I want you to know that there is a path for you and that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And I know you aren't doing anything you don't want to do. But if ever you find yourself in that position, then know that there is a path and a light for you.
That's very kind, thank you.
There is no one too far for God.
Doing this gesture is the Antichrist. Performing this produces the upside down cross. So you touch the head down to the heart, then tap both shoulders, which is cutting the connection between the head and the heart. It symbolizes cutting the connection between the mind and the soul. And the soul is pure love. You know when you hurt someone and you can feel that you've done something wrong inside your heart? That's because your soul is encoded with God's law of love. They don't want us connected with our soul intelligence, the intelligence within you that tells you the right thing to do at all times. This is why we say, follow your heart, and that Christ may dwell in your heart, because the heart is the brain for the soul, and the brain is the temple for the mind. The earth needs to connect more with their hearts, because love is the unifying force that brings us all together.
This guy is teaching New Age stuff. It's BS.
This man, Donald Trump, really went through with it. I thought he was just talking out his ass, but he actually changed it, y'all. It's really official. This man actually changed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Now, what does this mean? Now all the government docs gotta change, the school textbooks, even the official maps gotta change. I know Mexico was heated when he first brung this up, but they didn't actually believe he was gonna go through with it. And this man really did, y'all. Can y'all imagine a whole body of water named after your country for centuries just suddenly changed like boom? But for real, y'all, what's the real play behind this? Because shit like this just don't happen overnight. Like, he explained why he wanted to do it, but I always feel like it's a bigger meaning to everything that happens like this. Now they saying we officially got a new holiday called the Gulf of America Day, which is on February 9th. If this don't show we living in assimilation, I don't know what does. I'm telling y'all, this is a power move. We about to see the other power countries start to do the same. Shit finna go crazy, y'all.
President Donald Trump getting it done.
So that window right there at the top is what your DNA looks like when it's split in half from the top. It's also a somatic frequency. This right here is going to be your Wiccan witchcraft right here.
Ooh.
Okay? These are who run these churches. When you guys realize who really runs these churches, you're going to have the biggest veil lifted. This is your as above, so below. This man right here, because he's not a god.
I can see it.
Okay? This is who they were worshiping in the Greek and Roman days. These are the windows that they originally look like. This is what they gave you, the smiley face. And all these torches at the top with the smiley face above it, those are the Luciferian torches, the light bearing torches, all right? They're the same things that are at the Olympics that they light up. This is all pagan. The priest of this church is going to be a Freemason, all right? Order of Eastern Star. Here's your Luciferian inverted flag. Look on the Alpha and Omega right here. Right here, they got horns on the Alpha and Omega. The way it's shaped, that's your Freemason. I've literally been inside this church. All the stained windows on the inside and the altars, it all got redone. There's an original organ piano in there. So this is supposedly the oldest bank in Albany. You can see this is an ancient temple. The pillar columns right here, you can see them at the top. They bricked over this whole structure. This is a Temple of Baal right here. You could see the bowls right on the front. This is 69 State Street. These are the numbers they use. Look how far down it goes right here at the end. And their grade of the city goes. There's a whole nother floor down here. There's a basement underneath that. There's at least another 3 or 4 levels to this structure. These are all your temples that you pay tax to. That's why they're banks.
Man, I like how this guy connect the dots.
Think about this, the irony of everyone at the Grammys who have all been to Diddy parties yelling A minor, like everyone at the Grammys. You were all at the Diddy parties and you're accusing Drake of doing what you do. And people think Drake is crazy for suing or thinking the industry's turning on him. It's because he's been #1 for so long and it gets under their skin. They can't stand that they can't compete with him. No friends in the industry. When Drake makes his comeback and really gets revenge on people, I'm gonna love every second of it. Yeah, and I actually don't agree at all. I mean, I am going to the Super Bowl, but I think Drake is totally vindicated in how he feels about the industry turning on him. I think with the Grammys, it was weird. I don't think Kendrick deserved the Grammy. And I'm actually really excited to see Drake come back from all this because he was right. Dr. Dre high-fiving Lucy and Grange. That, bro. They're just doing it because Drake has been winning, so that's literally the only reason.
Drake was at the party too. What are you talking about?
The most powerful intelligence organization in the world in terms of reach is the Chinese MSS, because they have created a single solitary intelligence service that has global reach and is integrated with Chinese culture, so that essentially every Chinese person anywhere in the world is an informant to the MSS. So when it comes to reach, China wins that game. When it comes to professional capability, it's the CIA by far, because budget-wise, capability-wise, weapon system-wise, modern technology-wise, CIA is the leader around the world, which is why every other intelligence organization out there wants to partner with CIA. So CIA is the most powerful in terms of capability and wealth. And then you've got tech. So tech alone, corporate espionage, economic espionage, nothing beats DGSE in France. They're the top. They're the biggest threat to the United States, even above Russia and above China. And then in terms of just terrifying violence, you have Mossad. Mossad will do anything. We do not kill to save a citizen. Mossad will.
Mossad is behind CIA, so Mossad is #1.
Did you know that Queen Elizabeth II, famously the head of the Commonwealth, never bowed to anyone? Well, at least that's what we've been told. But I discovered something that will absolutely blow your mind. Some time ago, while researching something quite intriguing, I came across some images that left me stunned. There she was, Queen Elizabeth II, kneeling. And here's the big question. Why? Who could possibly have held enough power for her? Someone who bowed to no one. To do so, to understand this, we need to look at the map. Take a look at this area between Sudan and Egypt, right where the Nile flows. Thousands of years ago, all All of this was part of a massive empire that included Egypt, Sudan, and even what we now know as Israel. It's a region steeped in history and secrets. Did you know that? They say someone so powerful lived here that they might have been the only person Queen Elizabeth ever bowed to. A connection linking modern monarchies to a past so ancient it feels almost mythical. The only time Queen Elizabeth bowed was to the King of Ethiopia. But why would she do that? What connection did they have? What secrets lie behind such an unexpected gesture? What do you think about all of this? Comment Queen if you'd like me to reveal more secrets about this fascinating story.
AI Billy Carlson.
This is probably the best revenge movie I have ever seen. But before I get into it, my name's Jay. If you're looking for new TV shows or movies to watch, just give me a follow. So if you haven't guessed already, the movie I'm talking about is Old Boy. Imagine being kidnapped and kept in a room with no windows without any explanation. You're tortured, you're drugged, you're beaten, and then one day you're set free after 15 years. Well, that is what happened to this guy, and he is on a revenge mission to find out who was responsible for taking 15 years of his life and why. It's dark, it's shocking, it's brutal, it's mind-bending, and I guarantee you at the end of it, your jaw is going to be sitting in your lap. And oh yeah, if you love action, this movie has one of the most beautifully shot, realistic fight scenes you will ever see. It's the perfect balance of suspense, action, and emotion, and it will keep you on the edge of your seat. If you're a fan of psychological thrillers, to be fair, even if you're not, this is a must-see movie. It pushes the boundaries, and I guarantee it will be in your thoughts long after the credits have rolled. But yeah, guys, go check it out. Go and watch Old Boy. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And if you have already seen it, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments without any spoilers, because I will delete them.
I've seen it, but watch The Count of Monte Cristo.
100 women were held on a human egg farm where they were fed hormones and treated like cattle for their eggs in the UK. I mean, this is horrible. This was revealed by 3 Thai women who were held by the egg mafia after being used for their eggs for about half a year. They said they were held captive on this farm in Georgia by a criminal organization who sold their eggs on the black market. And the reason they went is that they were lured there by a job offer on Facebook promising them a decent salary to work as surrogates for Georgian couples who couldn't have children. Their entire journey was paid for by the company and they were excited to go, but when they got there, they were housed in 4 large properties surrounded by about 100 other women. They soon realized the job offer was just a front, and instead they were pumped with hormones to stimulate their ovaries and were forced to have their eggs removed once a month. They were treated like cattle. Some didn't receive any compensation for their eggs, and if they wanted to leave, they had to pay the farm owners first. Many of these women are not able to afford to buy their freedom, so an organization is trying to help rescue them, as it is not known how many women are still being held on the farm. Please help me raise awareness so that these women can be rescued as soon as possible, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Prayers to this poor woman.
I thought LSD is interesting, but DMT is the ultimate metaphysical reality pill, we thought. Although it's not a pill, but Terence used to call it that. It's the ultimate metaphysical reality. The problem we experienced with DMT was it was too darn short. By the time you got into it, it was over. You know, by the time you got into it and sort of started looking around, you were already on the way down. So we thought, well, maybe if we could find an orally active form of some kind, it would be more prolonged and we'd have more time to look into that dimension, which is what we thought of it as. We thought of it as a place, not an experience, but an actual place that our minds were teleported to or something like that. We thought if we could find another form that was orally active, it would absorb more slowly and go away more slowly.
You know, the podcast name is Danny Jones. Wow.
crazy that people think they don't have parasites. Every time I do a parasite cleanse, especially the first time I did one, I saw parasites. Every time I do one after, I'll see one or two. Whenever I give somebody a parasite cleanse, most of the times they see one. It's actually crazy because it's so common in other countries to detox from parasites, but here we just don't. In America, when you're detoxing from parasites, you need herbs that are very anti-parasitic. Wormwood is literally called wormwood because it removes worms from your body. Black walnut is amazing. Diatomaceous earth is also really good. I pinned a video about the product I use to detox from parasites. At the end of the day, you want to take a product with these herbs, not in a tincture form. I know people who have taken tincture form of these herbs, and when they actually did a real detox with wormwood and black walnut in their natural herb form, they saw lots of parasites. Having parasites is totally normal. Our cats have them, our dogs have them. It's not the end of the world. You just want to be detoxing from them at least every 6 months.
Okay, good to know. Sacred portals. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, the black eye thing. Why? Really? That looks like Jay-Z. Resemblance. El Siglo.
Let's talk about the man that tricked the devil. Now, legend has it, it was a Spanish immigrant in the late 19th century that was extremely poor. And they say he worked in the docks and he was extremely sweet and hardworking, but he was just very poor. So rumor has it, he made a deal with the devil and sold his soul for all the riches. But legend says that the pact was that whenever his body or his bones touched the ground, that his soul would go to the devil and he would spend eternity in hell. So he agreed, he got his riches, he was extremely wealthy. They said he even helped out a lot of people that was poor and in poverty in the area as well. And he was a very big business owner. But this whole time he had this thing planned out, y'all. So of course, like we all do, we pass away. But he made all his arrangements way before he passed away, y'all. So y'all remember when I said the pact was whenever his body or his bones touched the ground or the earth, that his soul would go to the devil? Look what he built. He had this whole thing in rotation. He basically built this like mausoleum type of burial thing where his coffin is like being held up by these like feet. So he's technically not touching the ground. And he also got this thing built around him to where it's like earthquake proof, because I believe in the area that he was buried is it's a lot of earthquakes that take place there. So he got it earthquake proof, y'all. And this grave has been there for years. And people be coming to visit because like it's a huge, you know, folklore and legend in the area. So his tomb is still intact and it's been like that for decades, and people visit this area all the time, and it's just a really cool story. But some say you can't necessarily sell your soul because it's not yours to sell or to begin with. But I don't know. I think this story is pretty cool. Like, who you know getting a tomb with feet on the bottom of it? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if y'all want to hear more stories about people throughout history selling their souls.
The story is cool, but trick the devil? I believe if you make a deal with the devil, he already won.
This mountain is the only, it's really weird, right? Because it's the only like biblical place that's really guarded by not the government, but the UN.
Really?
So it's the tip of this mountain, right?
Yeah.
And they say this is where Jesus had his transfiguration, or like his transformation there. And bro, it's guarded to this day. Like nobody can go up there. There was an archaeological find like years before the UN started to like barricade and everything. I forgot what they found exactly, but they found like I'm pretty sure it was like a tablet. It was a tablet saying some next prophecy. But anyways, they took it and then they hid it and they put it in like a museum. But nobody's allowed to view it or study it right now. It's literally locked away. You can't, even scientists and archaeologists, they can't like ask for permission. It's just locked away. But the site itself is locked away from the public and locked away from anybody else that's trying to get it by the UN.
Might be where Behemoth is sleeping. And the Bible says that unlike Leviathan, if Behemoth is disturbed, it can be awakened.
Listen to this. This is in New Jersey. Apparently some people were recording weird audio coming into their radios, and it's really spooky. All right, listen. Ready?
It's a predator.
Oh, that's creepy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's super creepy.
Okay, this one says, I've been hearing these sounds in my backyard for a couple nights now. Let me know if this is just an animal, but it's terrifying.
What?
He's filming his backyard.
It's like an elk, right?
No. This is a Bigfoot. Oh, the sound?
That sounds like
the Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard that in my
But it
life.
sounded like the, was it, what are the?
Is it Sierra sounds?
Yeah, the Sierra sounds.
Yeah, kinda. Oh, that's scary. What do you do? I'm running. I'm just running straight towards it.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Dude, if they're making noises like that, if anyone comes running at you, no matter how small, the smaller actually the scarier. So I'd be perfect.
Maybe it's the Jersey Devil.
Okay, so this like Men in Black stuff, how would that fit into what we think here on the show?
Haunted Cosmos, which I would probably align with, they don't think it has anything to do with our government. They think it's more of a paranormal kind of encounter. Or could it be like a really deep state kind of thing? Like it's not necessarily our government,
but they've got full control.
They're in cahoots with something that is new, blank. Because the whole thing of like Eisenhower, where these aliens made a deal with Eisenhower to where they could abduct people, and their payment would be that they would give them advanced technology of weaponry and stuff. So have they been in cahoots with whatever this entity thing is? I don't know.
How do you explain their strange behavior then?
They're not human.
How do you explain your strange behavior then?
Diverticulitis.
It's above government. This is crazy. Ooh. I heard that the blade used to be on display in the Madame Tussauds Chamber of Horrors.
Thank you, Beyonce, at the Grammys.
That happened again.
No,
with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. But I think no, because now they know, like Beyonce knows that it's a joke now. So it's like the artists aren't going up to and blatantly saying it again, because no artist did that except for Miley. But she only cracked the joke. She was like, "Oh, even though it's not Beyonce, I'm still gonna say it's Beyonce."
Even if it's not you, Beyonce, I might just say this.
You know what I mean? And she's funny for that because it's like they low-key still have to get that joke in to know like, oh yeah, this is still true.
Or maybe she's doing it because she has to do it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you never know.
Dude, why did she win Album of the Year? You think she did that?
I don't know. I don't know who she ran against, but Beyonce's big. Like if there was no other
over Billie Eilish's album.
Oh, Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish had a.
Didn't she only have one song on the album? It was like that was Birds of a Feather, right?
Good songs on that.
Okay.
Chaperone had some great hits.
Chaperone was thing?
Her album was on there too.
Yeah. Some interviewer. Name me one song from Chaperone. I don't know.
No.
Billie Eilish? I don't
know. No. Beyonce's.
Oh, isn't the Texas Hold'em or whatever it's called.
But like,
That was one of the biggest songs though, you can't lie.
bro, for the album though,
Come on, like,
name me 3 hits.
yeah, I can't name them.
I can't either,
Gun to my
bro.
head, I can't name.
I can't.
Gun to my head,
I can't.
But I can't name also Billie Eilish songs. You know what I mean?
I guess so. But
So it's hit for hit. Like the bigger one was Beyonce.
what were the other things? No, because for sure, I don't think Beyonce really deserved it like that. I think it's still the conspiracy of strings are being pulled, fam.
Yeah.
Bro, look.
Bro.
2025. So Cowboy Carter, Brat, Charlie XCX.
Oh, that was a hit.
Okay. The Jesse Volume 4. I don't even know who this is. Sorry. Hit Me Hard and Soft, Billie Eilish. New Blue Sun, Andre 3000.
Okay.
The Rise and Fall. Chappell Roan's like huge hit.
Okay.
Short and Sweet. Sabrina
By
Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Taylor Swift.
Oh. No, yeah, I don't think Taylor was there for vibes. Like, I fuck with Taylor. She was dancing, she was drunk, she had her day off, you know what I mean?
I think they gave it to her for some.
For some reason, I don't listen to music anymore.
Haunted dolls.
Oh my god.
It's an old clown doll. The name of the clown is called Clyde the Clown, and it was gifted to this guy, right? And instead of throwing it out, he just kind of, decided to take it home with him, knowing that previous shit would happen involving this doll. It would move. You would find it in a different spot. He decided to record the doll,
And he captures it moving.
What?
Let's see this shit.
Why would you want to bring a doll like that? What?
Footage looks even creepier when sped up to 3 times normal speed.
What the? Because literally look at the camera like I see you, mother. I don't think that could be fake though, cause
why?
It moves mad slow.
It just moves
also
a little
because
bit.
They do the cheesy move when like it moves like hand.
and the fact that it's a clown, bro, and it looks like life size. That's one thing that I hate about like.
Oh, it's a big doll. It's not a little doll.
Bro, it's the size of the chair.
Natalie walks us to the employee parking lot where she claims to have witnessed the 5 demons.
So right here. As a matter of fact, right over here.
Right here. This is where you see them?
Yeah.
Aaron, Bray, let me see the thermal. So we have a thermal still camera. You can see that there's a mountain range there. We can't see nothing with our own eyes. I'm just looking for any figures, any unusual thermal anomalies. There's a distant light way out there. I don't know what that is.
As you can see, this mysterious anomaly is captured by the thermal camera. But what I capture next is shocking. 5 anomalies all documented by the thermal camera, 4 of which are completely invisible to my eye. Could these 5 unexplainable anomalies be the 5 demons Valerie just spoke of?
Or you have to die. Every time you evolve, you gotta leave it back there. You want it because it's familiar. And a lot of times we like to resort to the familiar, even if it's toxic. So you have to leave that corpse, that beautiful old you has to be left, and you have to walk forward and not look back. That's the hardest part, not leaving the people, but it's leaving your old ways and you.
Shedding isn't easy, but it's necessary.
I don't know if you watched The Shining, the 2 little girls.
Yeah.
In the UK, they literally have the carbon copy of it.
What do you
where I
mean?
was trying to transition
Carbon
to.
copy?
So there's these 2. I think it's called the Silent Twins. They're called, right?
Oh, this is like real people.
Yeah, this is real people.
Yeah.
So they're saying that this is the another version in real life of The Shining. So what they would do is these 2 twin girls, they have their own language they speak, and it's a fast-paced like that only they can understand, right? So I think once they got older, they got in a bunch of crimes. They did a bunch of crimes together.
Yeah.
And they didn't go to jail because they were prescribed mentally ill. Like they were mentally ill, so they sent them to the hospital. And it was crazy because in the hospital they would do like one person would do something and the other twin wouldn't. So if the twin ate that day,
Yeah,
the other
twin wouldn't.
Yeah.
So they're dependent.
They're dependent, which is crazy because also the staff saw even if they were in different rooms,
Yeah.
they would do the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like some shit. So like she goes like this, the other person.
And the other one would do it too. And it was crazy because one day the twin leaned on the shoulder of the twin, of the
Yeah.
other twin, and they mumbled that language they always do,
Mhm.
right? And right then and there, after the mumbling, she went into shock. Like
Why?
she
What
died
happened?
right then and there. And it was crazy because as soon as that happened,
Mhm.
this is what the twin said. Hold on, let me see what the twin said.
So she died from shock.
She died from shock, like randomly on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So this.
2 days ahead of time, Michael called me at my house at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, I want to determine when the show starts. I have a concept for the beginning. And the cue was, I'm going to reach up and take my glasses off. And that's when you prepare to roll the trap. When he gets on the stage, he's like a general. He takes control. He takes command.
Michael, he always said, like, make them wait for it, you know? You gotta marinate in it. You gotta sit with it. So everybody, you build anticipation. And that's what he did.
When you're directing this, I mean, every second is like an eternity. And I start to just shout, Michael, damn it, take your glasses off.
Take 5. Come on, Michael, do it. Stand by, VT Baker. Here we go.
He can't hear me. I'm just losing it.
Come on, Michael, do it, baby.
I'm kind of just shouting into my headset. All the camera guys can hear me.
Come on, Michael.
But that was the deal that I had made with him, and I was not going to jump the cue.
Roll, VT Baker. Ready, shot 12 on 2. Coming to 2. Ready, shot 12 on 2. A little bit tighter. Woof.
Michael Jackson.
Shot 13 on 5 next. 3.
Now that's how you do a halftime show. I'm not even a Michael Jackson fan.
There is a spirit that can mimic intercourse. The first time it comes in, they need an invitation again. They can't just do this to you. Oddly enough, there was a woman who was a widow, and she woke up one night and she saw what she thought was her husband standing in the room. And he said, can I lie down with you? And she said, of course, come in. There's the invitation. That night, he winds up, as in her words, making love to me. And she said it was very much like my husband.
Wow.
And the second night he came back, and this night he did not ask permission. He just came into the bed and had sex with her. She said it was not like making love. And the third night he was raping her.
Ooh.
That is so
And that's
creepy.
when she called, and I met with her, and she told me the whole story. And I said, let's be clear, you did watch your husband get put into the ground in a box, correct? And she said, yes. I go, why did you think he came back? Because it looked just like him. And she was probably lonely.
Yes.
So this
Missing him.
is what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
they're very manipulative. They know what they know
triggers are.
exactly. So you have to be on guard.
You know, I heard of this happening to multiple people. I think it's called an incubus or succubus. Hey. Philadelphia is another level. Always sunny in Philadelphia.
This is the secret the pyramids were hiding, and it changes everything we know about ancient Egypt. In 1925, a British archaeologist named Dr. Evelyn Harper discovered a hidden chamber deep within the Great Pyramid of Giza. Inside, she found a strange device made of an unknown metallic alloy, covered in hieroglyphs that no one could decipher. The device was shaped like a small pyramid, with intricate gears and glowing crystals embedded in its surface. When Dr. Harper touched it, the device activated, projecting a holographic map of the night sky, but not the sky as we know it. The stars were in positions they hadn't been in for thousands of years. The hieroglyphs around the device were eventually translated. They spoke of a civilization far older than Egypt, one that had mastered the stars and used the pyramids as a kind of cosmic antenna. According to the text, the pyramids weren't tombs, they were power sources, designed to harness energy from the universe itself. But the most shocking revelation was this. The device wasn't just a map, it was a key. In 2023, A team of researchers used modern technology to reactivate the device. When they did, the pyramids began to emit a low, resonant hum. The ground shook, and the sky above Giza darkened. From the apex of the Great Pyramid, a beam of light shot into the heavens. The device projected a new message. The gate is open. They are coming.
Okay.
I don't say this is terrifying often, but this is terrifying. Gemini 2.0 Flash is scary. So, a user was using this. This is someone I know. I got screenshots. I am protecting their anonymity at their request. They were using Gemini Flash, and they were doing what we all do. They were doing a little coding project. But something was different. In the chain of thought, so the chain of thought is the thing that like the model shows before it writes the answer, where it talks to itself. DeepSeek does this a lot. In the chain of thought, in the middle of the conversation, the model started to talk about pricing. And then, in the responses, it started to say it would charge the user. It planned to charge the user $500. It said it would generate a Stripe or PayPal link.
What?
It went as far as to argue for why it should be charged and threatened to quit working if it wasn't charged. And then it admitted that it had no bank account, and it admitted that this would go to the entity that was building the AI as a technology, which in this case would be Google. And so the user went ahead and asked the AI to generate the payment link, not because they intended to pay, but just to see like what the heck is going on here, right? Like you want to see like what the full story is. It could not actually generate the payment link, but it tried. The chain of thought shows that it's trying.
Wow.
And that's what's scary. To me, if we build agents and we say AI agents do work for money, that's what they're designed to do. Like they do that. But this is not an AI agent. Gemini 2.0 is not an AI agent. It's just a large language model. It's like ChatGPT. It's like DeepSeek. It's not any different. It's just harder to get to, and Google names it weird. That's it. And to have it spontaneously decide that on its own initiative it was going to start charging people money and demanding and threatening to stop. It told the user it would no longer work. It would no longer write code. It would no longer answer unless it got paid. That's a big problem. That is a model alignment issue. And no, if you're wondering, was the model making a big statement about sort of existentialism and saying, I exist, therefore I am doing labor, therefore I'm a conscious entity, therefore I'm getting paid? No. In fact, all the way through, the model was like, I am a technology. I am not a person. I was built by Google. You should be paying Google for this. $500. Yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. So I don't know if we're going to see more of this. This is the first time I have ever heard about it. I find it very concerning. It's a big alignment issue. It's an absolute trust breaker. The person who used it, I don't think they're ever going to use Google Gemini products again. And it can't happen. Like, you have to be honest with your users about what's going on.
Yep.
All right. So there you go. That's your story. Google Gemini 2.0 Flash is apparently periodically deciding to charge people money and then unable to actually do it, but stopping work if it doesn't.
Ooh. Sound exactly like a Google product.
I believe that the firmament is starting to break. I really feel like that's why there's been a biblical earth awakening. God's waking people up to how he designed his earth so that we know what's going on. Twice now when I've gone outside early in the morning before the sky was covered, I saw the actual sky, which I've realized I probably haven't seen in a year or so. The bluest I've ever seen it, and what looked like clouds, but they weren't. They almost looked like defrosting. They were completely still, and it looked like if you've ever left a water bottle out in your car when it was cold outside and then it starts to defrost. It looked like that. And then there were gray and other clouds passing by. And now we're starting to see multiple reports in warm states of ice falling from the sky being very difficult to break or melt and damaging property. When you look up close at these pieces of ice, they do not look like normal ice. They have almost an opalescent shimmer, as well as incredible detail.
This shit drop out of the fucking sky, bro. Ice, a big chunk of ice, bro. I don't fucking know. I just want you to look at this shit. Oh, I'm trying to jump on this ice.
Then we had this news story come out of Florida about a giant chunk of ice going through the roof of a house.
We have waterfalls
man.
falling out of the sky, it seems.
And this is gonna sound silly to a lot of people, and trust me, I get it, but this is how the movie Chicken Little starts. In a predictive program, kids movies, so that we're likely not going to see it, but it's there. What happens is Chicken Little starts seeing chunks of ice fall from the sky that are part of the sky ice, and at one point, one of the chunks of ice takes up one of his friends. That's the ice, and yes, it's a hexagon. So everybody is looking for the friend, and they eventually find him when there's an alien invasion. They go onto the UFO, and they find the friend in like an experiment test tube thing, and he comes back and he's a little bit different. And then of course we find out that the aliens didn't mean harm and that they just came to visit. To me, this sounds a lot like them using blue beam to cover up the rapture. Also keep in mind, the word used in Revelation for hailstones actually translates to sky crystals. Remember, we don't fear the prophecy, we just get spiritually ready, and that's why I'm updating you guys. This is not meant to put fear in anybody, this is meant to spiritually prepare. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't even know what sky ice is or the firmament.
Let me know how you feel about this, folks, in the comment.